The Week 18 slate is absolutely bananas. Welcome to the show. Very excited this morning to talk through all of these things. The Falcons, I wish that they'd done this a little bit sooner. We're going to get into all of it. It was the last game of the 2025 calendar year, and it was as fitting as it gets. It was beautiful. Another table flipper. What a mess of these playoff pictures we have. Down to the wire again. A stunning upset once more. And before I get into the ramifications, pun intended, of this one, I do want to say that I do not want to take for granted, and I am not for one, taking for granted how special Bijan Robinson is. Take a look at this. Another 229 yards. 229 well-earned, 190 after contact. That's the most since that became a stat 16 years ago. What were you doing 16 years ago? Anyway, tweet me at the show handle, at Up and Adam Show. I'm just going to let him run it out. He's not even getting exhausted. He's used to this. It's what he does. Best player on the field. And that's a field full of stars last night, making Rams look silly, okay? Second time he's put up over 200 yards and carried this team to a win over a Super Bowl contender this year in primetime, just like he did against Buffalo. I also want to point this out, because if we just keep showing his highlights, he's just going to keep running and running. 116 yards in Week 18 against the Saints. Bijan would pass LaDainian Tomlinson and crack the top 5 on this list of most scrimmage yards in a single season. And that's an all-time special year. And I really hope Atlanta can get him in some meaningful games here over the next couple of years. That is my New Year's resolution for the Falcons. And on the other side of things, the Rams, what are we doing? The Rams were like, what did I say? I said they were like the boring team. They're the perfect boyfriend on paper. They do everything right. They show up. They get in the end zone. Kyron, Puka, Devontae, they have the MVP, right? Question mark. How are they? They're like the blue chip stock, the reliable best friend who's going to help you jump your car when it breaks down the side of the road. They're somehow just 2-3 over their last 5. They have lost to the likes of the Falcons, feisty Falcons, powerhouse Panthers, and Super Seahawks. Okay, we love alliteration here on the program. This MVP race, by the way, is now open. Man, momentum is a thing. Timing is a thing. Stafford had 3 picks last night, and look at this. Drake May, wow, takes over. He should be right there at the forefront. Unbelievable. The gap hath closed, y'all, between the two. And now we're talking about one quarterback leading his team to a division title and likely a 2 seed versus another guy whose team is struggling at the wrong time at the finish line. But I do think the overlords on FanDuel Sportsbook, are we getting a little carried away here? You guys getting a little boozy-suzy towards the end of the year over there with your algorithms, you overlords making these lines and stuff? I don't know. I think it should be more of a close neck-and-neck situation, don't you? Not this overwhelming. It's minus 475 in favor of Drake right now. I don't know about that. One performance should not offset Stafford's entire body of work to such a severe degree, in my opinion. He has 9 more touchdowns than the next closest quarterback. Drake's deserving of the love, yes, and do what you want to do on FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's not disrespect Stafford, old man Stafford, in the process. As for the Rams, as a team note, what am I going to do with you? Arizona at LA to close it out. How concerned am I? This loss pushes them in jeopardy of being a 6 seed. That I know, and that I hate. That sends them to Philly or to Chicago instead of Tampa or Carolina. I don't know. I don't think either of those matchups bode well, given how the defense is playing right now. Take a look at this. Last 3 weeks, this Rams defense, which, by the way, was the 3rd best in the league. They got the rush. They've got everything. We don't need Aaron Donald. First 13 games of the season have been so amazing. Bottom 3 every major category. What is going on? They're allowing 33 points a game, and the yards per play and yards per carry number are even, it's a bleak 182. Bleak 182 for this Rams defense. Having to deal with the Eagles or the Bears and those run games between those two, that sucks for the Rams. I don't like that for them at all. I do think they've got too much talent for this to continue, right? Always rely on the talent, the ability, the coaching. What's going on here? It's because I'm going to keep an eye on. I am concerned. They need to bury the Cardinals on Sunday. Bury them. And Trey McBride, friend of the show. And they also have to, do a couple rosary rounds We got to pray that the Seahawks beat the Niners to give them a chance at the 5 seed. Hamilton, before we get into the complicated knot of twine that is this NFC playoff picture, which I'm going to maybe take my ear out because I don't want to have a migraine this morning. The Rams, no, don't go to this yet, please, Derek. I love you so much. You and me, Hammy. What is going on with this Rams defense? Do you have you got anything for me? I literally have no idea.
I mean, the biggest issue they had last year was stopping the run, right? And it seemed like they fixed that this season. Bringing Nate Landman in had been a big addition, but over these past few weeks, it looks like last year's Rams team again. They just can't stop the run. They're getting blown off the ball a little bit. It's weird to see such a dramatic shift mid-season, but if you had to point to one flaw from last year's team, it was that. And the fact that it's popping up again is something of a concern here, especially as you laid out with those potential matchups. It'll be a much better situation if they get the 5 and get to play the winner of that NFC South. But still, this is something they're going to have to address.
They bury, bury, like how you say, I like how you say Barry, please. Say like Eric Berry.
Eric Berry.
It's so funny.
Wow.
They do their thing against the Cardinals. What is the MVP race going to be won on? If they do that against Arizona, I don't know if that's that sexy. Is that sexy?
Yeah.
Who is Drake have?
Not really, but maybe it just settles some of it down and evens it out. Drake has Miami. That's not really going to do it either. It's just, I don't know that there's anything he can do that's going to bolster the case. He can obviously hurt his case even more at this point, but I think maybe it just levels out if the Rams, have a good performance and look like they're back on track. Maybe that creeps closer to the neck and neck race that I agree with you. It probably should be right now.
Right. I'll take a look. I'm just and I'll get to this, of course. If you're a Buffalo fan, are you just dying at what's gone on? I just feel for Buffalo fans in such a way, but I'm hoping they can turn it around. Tell me a little bit more about the NFC South race right now, because it's really stupid.
Yeah, so last night definitely threw that into flux. So it was going to be a win and in game between the Bucs and Panthers for the division on Saturday.
Okay.
But now, if the Panthers win that game, they win the division. Nice and clean, nice and simple. If the Bucs win that game, they don't necessarily win the division, because if the Falcons beat the Saints on Sunday, then the Panthers would still win the division even though they lost, because it becomes this 3-way tie situation that then favors the Panthers. And the other end of this that I was just thinking about this morning, if the Falcons had just beaten the Jets, they would be in a position to win this division on Sunday. Loss to the Jets is the thing you look at that is keeping them out of it. So it also has to be pretty frustrating to be a Falcons fan right now, as well as they've been playing down the stretch. It's where has this been all year?
Where has this been all year? Right.
Yeah.